Convention photography at C2e2 2023. It's been quite a while, but I'm finally getting to the edit of this video. Went with a group of friends. It's always fun to do that. It's definitely less expensive when you go as a group, but of course I was also doing photography. In this case, I was using the Nikon Z5, the 28mm f2.8 lens, and the GoPro 9 with the max lens mod for video. With the Z5, I was using firmware 1.4. This was right after that was released, and they claimed improved face detection and eye detection. So I was curious to see if there was a difference. I didn't notice much of a difference with focusing on the Z5 and that different firmware, though with cosplay photography it's much different than standard portrait photography and things like that, because people's faces will often be blocked, semi-blocked. They might have paint on their faces, they might have hats or whatever. So in this case it's definitely more challenging for a camera to deal with face detection, and I would often just tap on the screen to focus where I wanted. That works pretty well. Do you mind if I take your photo? Mind if I get a photo?
Yes.
Lighting in the convention center is very mixed. It can be pretty bad. Also, color temperature is a mess. So when you go to conventions like this, obviously it depends on the place, but it's going to be pretty rough. You can consider off-camera flash or on-camera flash, anything like that, to control lighting more so, but that's, in my opinion, quite a bit of extra effort. Not sure it's totally necessary, but it depends on what you're trying to accomplish with the look of your photos. Do you mind if I take a photo of you two?
Oh, sure.
Nice, thanks. With the camera settings, I was using aperture priority with a minimum shutter speed of 1/125th of a second, so that if people are moving around or I'm shifting, stuff like that, it's less of an issue. I was using f2.8 most of the time, so I could get the most light into the camera as possible. This convention center is quite the trip for me, so it was great going with friends. Definitely helped out and makes it more of an enjoyable experience. Also meet other friends there. And with photography, I try to do it when I can, but I don't really make it a huge priority. I'll stop people and ask for photos. Of course, they have to wait as well, so I try to be considerate. Mind if I get a photo? Thanks.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I take your photo? Nice, thanks. Main challenges, it was extremely busy, especially in the main areas. That makes it super difficult for photography, of course. I have to get a photo. Thanks. If you're considerate, in this case, I try to position people so that they're out of the way when we stop. It doesn't impede the flow of traffic as much as possible, but of course it's still pretty challenging. Lighting isn't amazing in the main hall. There's a strong overcast light, the yellow tint. At the very least, it's no longer the red carpets that they used to have. Oddly enough, they apparently paid a lot of money to have those red carpets. They looked pretty cool, but they were terrible for photography because the reflected red light was bad. It's difficult doing this style of photography while hanging out with friends. Sometimes, really depends. Especially true when they're not super into photography of cosplayers. One of my friends is really into taking photos of cosplayers, but he wasn't there this year, so it was a little bit more challenging this year for me to get more photos. The artist alley was basically impossible to do any photography. The rows were very, very tight. So my friend Julia's booth, check out her merch, all of her cool artistic work that she's been doing. Really impressive stuff.
Your Fortress of Solitude.
Guys,
I brought
to your left.
I brought more people. How's it going?
Hello.
Oh, Ron. Sorry.
Yeah, we're all here. It's just from music.
I like the skateboard.
Oh, I'm just checking out your N7. Hold on, or
This is Z5.
Z5. Well, I'm not a Nikon guy. Come on.
Photographed my friend Jason doing his style of photography. He's definitely got a unique style at certain angles that he uses quite a bit. He prefers to do the individual photography, taking someone aside and doing more methodical and selective photography. Certainly something different than what I do a lot of the time, and it's cool to see him do his thing. He was saying he found a great area that he likes with good lighting, then he sticks to it and he just hangs around that area. In my case, I like moving around and doing more documentary style photography. What would be my ideal camera setup in a situation like this? I'd suggest a larger aperture lens. f2.8 is good, but also a little bit faster would be nice. Off-camera light or on-camera light would be good as well, but again, that adds to the hassle and challenges of the photography, and you will get a certain look where you're mixing light and you're putting a lot of strong light in the foreground. The background's going to be darker. I did see that guy posted up with a light stand and a large flash in the convention center. That's certainly dedication. I also saw quite a few people with dedicated cameras, more than I remember seeing in recent conventions that I've been to, so that was nice. This convention is certainly different than anime conventions, which I've also been to a lot. It's got more of a larger range of ages. Mind if I get a photo?
Sure. As long as you keep smiling.
I love it. Have you made that before?
That's good. Thank you. Mind if I get a photo?
Sure.
Yeah, Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Full families. Obviously, there is a different group of people that go to it, but also a lot of similarities with the anime convention stuff. If you do want to go to conventions, I'd say start off with a comic convention like this, pop culture, rather than anime, but both of them are still good options. Overall, a challenging yet fun photography outing with friends at C2E2. Hope you enjoyed the video. Scott Photography Bonsai. Thanks.